Hey everyone, it's Otter. Let's talk about the Device Assistant app. So the Device Assistant app is really about streamlining the claim process. Let's talk about the claim process at the moment. The claim process is this multi-step kind of process that has to happen today, which is where somewhere we've got to gather all the serial numbers and MAC addresses. 2, we got to claim them into XiO. Of course, that's through the batch claim or through the individual. Those all end up in the unclaimed devices, and then they got to be moved to rooms. Well, if we can shortcut that process and sometimes the little mistakes that can happen, character transposition, misalignments in spreadsheets, those type of things, then we've really created something that is of benefit to everybody. So where does it fit in the process? Well, if we think about the overall installation process, at some point, one or more points, what will define the equipment that goes into a room happens, and there's a person there and they have a smartphone. So these are the opportunities you use. So say that you pre-rack in the shop, and then the rack rolls to a room and everything else comes off the pallet, everything else being all the peripheral equipment. Those are 2 points where you can capture. One during racking. So while it's racked, yes, we're going to designate a rack for a room. We're going to capture them. We're going to put them in. And then when we get into the room and we get the peripheral or edge devices, we capture then off the boxes or the labels on the boxes or labels on the devices and move those into the room. So this should eliminate a number of individual steps, because if you break all the way we've been doing it or the way we started doing it to what we can do with the Device Assistant, there is some accuracy and time savings in it.
Hi everyone, Glenn Crestron. Going to go through how we claim devices into XiO Cloud with a nice easy tool called Device Assistant. I have my iPad here. You can use your iPhone, you can use your Droid phones, and download the Device Assistant app. And what's really cool about it is that I can now take these devices and put them in their individual rooms just by using my camera and scanning a barcode. All right, so what we have here is we have 2 huddle rooms and a meeting room. And in the huddle rooms, we've got HD, TXU, RXU, RMC4, and a touch panel. Same in both huddle rooms. And then we have in the meeting room, we have a soundbar system, our B70. We have a TSS panel that's going to go on the outside wall, occupancy sensor, and also an RMC4. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to open up the Device Assistant, and I'm going to go to each room. Now here I have it inside my conference room. It could be in a shop of an integrator. It could be in each individual room that it's going to be installed in. Either way, you can actually go to wherever the devices are, know which room it goes into. Sometimes there's Post-it on boxes. You can scan the box, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first thing that we're going to do is go to our first room. We call it the Covenant room, and I am going to, from Device Assistant, and you'll see these screenshots on the video, is I'm going to do scan device. Now, the camera is active, and you have to find the serial number and MAC address. Now, without glasses, I think that's what it is. But let's go ahead and use our camera. And when we find it, it's now going to go and it's going to populate the data as shown here. They're both blue. I'm going to hit continue, and it's going to say, okay, here's your XiO account. Where do you want it to go? So I'm going to select which room I'm in, and then I'm going to go to the room of Covenant. So we select Covenant, and then we do claim device into the room. Now, that particular product, that's the HDT XU, RXU combination, that's going to then get put into there, and it says claim successfully. So now we're going to scan the next product of that pair, TXU, RXU, and it's going to find it, and I'm going to hit continue. Now, the great thing about Device Assistant is it knows exactly what room the last one was in. You can change it, or you can just say claim device to the room. Now, that's going to go ahead and claim that device to the room, which is great. So now we're going to move on to the next touch panel, and after we get our success there, now this camera is always active. So first what we're going to do, be careful of what we're scanning. We've got our MAC address, and then I'm going to zoom in on our serial number. It's going to find it. I'm going to hit continue. And one of the things, it actually will tell you what product it thinks it is. In this particular case, TSW 1070. I know the room, it's Covenant. Claim device into the room. And now, voila, we now have these three products in there. So remember I said you can scan a box if it's just sitting on the floor? Well, let's do that. Here we have the RMC4. I'm going to scan the label. It's going to get the MAC address and the serial number. I'm going to hit continue. It's going to say, I'm an RMC4, and then I'm going to do claim device to the room. Now, here, after this claims, you can actually go into XiO, and you can see those 4 devices are now claimed in that room. Okay, let's move on to the next room. And now we have it. So we have all of our products now claimed into the room, and that we can go ahead. We can now do what we need to do as far as configuring it. If we want to do all huddle rooms, have the same for each device, you could select that particular floor. You can then take your RxU, TXU, change it, and as soon as you plug it into the network, it'll talk to the XiO cloud, and it will configure it for you. So thank you again for watching Device Assistant, and if you have any questions, please reach out to your sales team, reach out to your technical director, and we're looking forward to hearing from you soon. All right, everyone, have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
So what does it take to be successful? Well, you need to log into XiO. You need the app on the phone. That login to XiO can be either a dealer login through the service provider part or a standard customer login. Yes, that means that the app is available for everybody and can be used by everybody. They just have to have a login. But the login also has to belong to a certain security group. There are 2 default security groups that can claim devices into XiO, and that's the administrator and technician. So when setting up this account for possibly the integrator or for a technician, use the technician security group when creating the account, and they'll be able to claim in. So once you have the security group, you've got the rooms defined. So the other part of that is in the environment, making sure that you have your groups and rooms defined, which, by the way, is a great opportunity to assign those things like time, time settings, time date, service date, all those individual piece and part settings that you can do for the pieces that are going in for the commissioning to reduce the amount of touch of commissioning. So while creating the rooms for all this and getting ready so that people can claim them in using the device assistant, have that opportunity. You can then claim them in. They go. Now, once again, somewhere in the process, the magic happens. There's a phone, there's an app, a person, and a stack of equipment. That's where the device assistant really comes into play to save time, energy, and effort. I'm Otter. They gave me a camera, gave me a microphone, said make a show. There you go. Hope you found this entertaining or educational. Like, subscribe, that stuff. See ya.